week of November, but the closing date will be 4 weeks from today, and any rent that will be paid will be apportioned in due course, the usual way, in favour of the purchaser. So, without further ado, the vendor is Natalie Brosnan of Dublin Road, Mullingar, County Westmeath. Closing date 4 weeks from the date hereof. Particulars and tenure: all of the lands comprising folio 5984F of the Register County Westmeath, held in fee simple. The document schedule is the certified copy folio file plan WH 5984F. Special conditions are as follows: 1. Save where the context otherwise requires or implies, or the text thereof expresses to the contrary. The definitions and provisions as to the interpretation set forth in the within general conditions shall be applied for the purposes of these special conditions. 2. The general conditions shall A. apply to the sale insofar as same are not hereby altered or varied, and these special conditions shall prevail in case of any conflict between them and the general conditions. B. Be read and through without any regard to any amendment therein, unless such amendment shall be referred to specifically in these special conditions. Special condition 3. VAT is not applicable and can be struck out. Special condition 4. Title of the property shall consist of the copy title document set forth in the document schedule hereto, and shall be deduced therefrom, and no objection, requisition, or inquiry shall be raised in respect of any prior title. 5. The purchaser agrees and accepts that no statement, measurement, quantity, or description contained in any newspaper or advertisement published by the vendor, which expression shall in this condition include the vendor's agents, or given orally, or contained in any brochure, letter, or handout issued by the vendor, hereinafter called the brochure, in respect to subject property, whether or not in the course of any representation or negotiation leading to the sale, shall constitute a representation inducing the purchaser to enter into the sale, or any warranty forming part of this agreement. No error which shall have the same meaning as in the general condition 29, unless contained in this agreement, shall give rise to any cause of action, claim for compensation against the vendor, or any right of rescission under this agreement. It is further agreed that this document contains the entire terms and conditions of the agreement between the parties hereto, and general condition 29 shall be read subject to this paragraph. Special condition 6. The purchaser shall be deemed to purchase with full knowledge as to the state and condition of the subject property, the access thereto, the boundaries thereof, and the acreage thereof. In the event of any discrepancy between the acreage as described in the particulars and tenure and the accurate acreage on the ground, the purchaser shall not be entitled to raise any objection or requisition, and shall be deemed to have purchased the subject property by reference to the boundaries on the ground and personal inspection thereof, and general condition 29 of the general conditions of sale is hereby amended. Special condition number 7. The purchaser shall be deemed to have purchased with full knowledge of the actual state and condition of the property with regard to access, easements, rights of way, party walls and fences, drains, user and manner of cultivation or repair, and all matters, and shall take the property as it stands. The purchaser is expressly put on notice that Mr. John Ganley, the registered owner of the adjoining lands in folio WH4967F, has indicated verbally to the vendor that he's enjoyed a right of way over part of the subject property along the area shaded in yellow and marked X and Y on the map to facilitate access into his existing property comprising said folio. No formal grant of right of way has been executed by the vendor to the said Mr. Ganley, and the purchaser purchases on full notice of same, and shall take the property as it stands, and no further objection or requisition shall be raised by the purchaser in this regard. In the avoidance of any doubt, and for the purpose of this special condition, no claim for compensation shall be made by the purchaser, howsoever arising, and any such matters relative to this special condition shall not be any reason for the purchaser to rescind this contract for sale. 8. The purchaser is referred to the map prepared by J&L Service Limited, highlighting the width of the access into the property and sale, which is furnished for information purposes only. 9. On or before the closing date, the balance purchase monies shall be paid by interbank transfer to NG Downs and Company's client bank account, which is Bank of Ireland Mullingar. With the avoidance of any doubt, a cheque or a bank draft will not be accepted by the vendor on the closing date. Special condition number 10. There are no farm entitlements in sale. Special condition 11. The purchaser shall admit the identity of the subject property in sale comprising the documents of title, and shall be afforded by comparison of the description and particulars in the documents of title respectively, and the vendor shall not be required to account for any discrepancies in names, quantities, measurements, or otherwise, nor to find the extent of the boundaries thereof. 12. The vendor shall furnish in closing the usual fishing rights declaration that it hasn't been exercised for upwards of 20 years, and no further objection or requisition or inquiry should be raised in relation to the same. Finally, the lands in sale are currently subject to a grazing agreement from Mr. Tom Dixon, which said agreement expires on the 31st of October 2021, and vacant possession shall be granted to the purchaser on the first week of November 2021. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome to the sale of this superb 14-acre non-residential holding. As some of you are aware, these lands have been in the Brosnan family for many, many years. Firstly owned by the late Mr. Tim Brosnan, a gentleman, as you know,
And now Mrs. Brosnan, decent lady in Brosnan family. The vendors are very much willing sellers, and they would wish the prospective purchaser here today every good health, happiness, and longevity. So, ladies and gentlemen, get me away there, somebody please. 14 acres of real good land, laid out in 2 divisions, very close to Mullingar town boundary, growing luscious pastures at the moment, and someday maybe you might see houses on it. Get me away there, somebody please. 2-bay hay shed and lean-to. Have I 250,000? Have I 250,000? Have I 220? Have I 200,000? Have I 200,000? Have I 200,000? Have I 180? Get me away there, somebody please. It doesn't matter where we start, it's where we end up. Have I 180? Have I 160? Well, 150 then. We won't be starting any less. Have I 150,000? Have I 150,000 bid? At 150,000 bid again now at 150. At 150,000 any advance at 150,000. At 150,000 bid again now 150. 160 bid. 160,000. At 160,000 bid again now 160. 160. At 160,000 on the floor any advance at 160. 170. At 170. At 170,000 now. At 170,000 bid again now 170. 170. At 170 have I 180, sir. At 170,000 180 bid. At 180,000 now. At 180,000 left-handed. At 180,000. At 180,000 any advance at 180. Have I 190? Have I 190? At 180,000 any advance at 180,000. At 180,000 190 bid. At 190,000 now. At 190,000 any advance at 190. Have I 200? Have I 200,000 at 200,000 bid? At 200,000 now. At 200,000 bid again now 200. 200 at 200,000 bid again now 200. 200 have I 210? Have I 210 bid? At 210 now. At 210,000 bid again now 210. 210 at 210,000 any advance at 210,000. At 210,000 on the floor, at 210,000 any advance at 210. At 210,000 any advance at 210. Have I 220? Have I 220? At 210,000 bid again now 210,000. At 210,000 any advance at 210. 210 at 210,000 bid again now at 210,000. Looks great value, but you're the judges at 210,000. At 210,000 bid again now 210. 210 at 210,000 any advance at 210. I'll take 5 if you like. Have I 215? Have I 215 at 210,000 bid again now 210. 210 at 210,000 bid again now 210,000. All done after 210. All finished after 210. I've 215 online. At 215,000 now. At 215,000 bid again now 215,000. At 215,000 any advance at 215. 215 at 215 have I 220. At 215,000 bid again now 220,000 bid. At 220,000 now. At 220 bid again now against you online at 220,000. The bid is on the floor at 220,000. At 220,000 bid again now, ladies and gentlemen, 220,000, 225. At 225. At 225 have I 230. Have I 230? 225 online. 225 bid. At 225,000 bid again now 225. 225 at 225,000, 230. 230,000. 230 bid. At 230. At 230 bid again now 230. 230 at 230,000 bid again now 230. Have I 235? Have I 235? 235 online. 235 at 235,000 bid again now 235. 235 at 235,000. Looks great value, but you're the judges. The bid is online against you on the floor at 235,000. At 235,000, have I 240? Have I 240? At 235,000. Looks great value. At 235,000. The bid is online against you all at 235. At 240. At 240. At 240. At 240 on the floor. 240 bid again now 240. 240 at 240. 245 online. At 245. At 245,000 now. At 245,000 bid again now 245. 245 at 245,000. Any advance at 245,000. At 245,000 bid again now 245. 245, 250. 250 bid at 250,000 now. At 250,000 against you online at 250. Have I 255? Have I 255? At 250,000 bid again now 250. 250 at 250,000. Any advance at 250,000. At 250,000 against you online and against you on the floor at 250,000. At 250,000 have I 5. One bid might buy it. At 250,000 have I 255. All done after 250,000. All finished after 250. All done after 250,000. All done after 250. Take one if you like. Have I 5? Before I pass, at 250, it's important to be on top. At 250,000, all done at 250. All finished after 250,000. All done after 255 online. At 255. 255. At 255, bid again now 255,000. At 255,000, have I 260? Have I 260? At 255,000, well, a long way. I don't want to lose you now. At 255, one bid might buy it at 255,000. Looks great value. at 255,000, all done after 255. 14 acres of real good land, close to Mullingar, at 255,000. At 255,000 development potential, 255, all done after 255, all finished after 255,000, all done after 255. How about 260 before I pass? At 255, all done after 255,000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you could just excuse us for a moment, I'm just going to speak to the family, the vendors, and we will chat very, very quickly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. The highest bid is 255,000. The property is on the market and here to be sold at 255,000. It's on the market and selling at 255. How about 260? At 255,000, any advance at 255. 255 at 255,000. Bid again now, 255,000. At 255,000, the bid is online. It's on the market. Here to be sold, 260. Bid 260. 260,000 now. At 260, bid again now, 260. At 260,000, bid again now, 260. At 260,000, looks great value, but you're the judges at 260,000. At 260, bid again now, 260. 260. How about 265? How about 265,000? At 260,000, the hammer's up, and I sell at 260. At 260,000, all done after 260,000. I sell if I can't do any better at 260,000. At 260, bid again now, 260. 260. Have a 265 before we sell at 260,000. The hammer's up, it's here to be sold at 260,000 against you online. One bid might buy it. Shame to lose it. You've been with me all the while. I don't want to lose you now. At 260,000, have I 65? Have I 265 online? At 265 now. At 265, 270. At 270 bid. At 270 now. At 270,000 bid again now. 270. 270. At 270,000, then he advances at 270. 270. At 270,000 bid again now. 270,000. At 270,000 on the market. The hammer's up, and I sell at 270. At 270 bid again now. 270. 270. At 270,000, then he advances at 270,000. At 270,000, have I 275? Have I 275? Before I sell at 270,000, all done after 270. It's against you online at 270,000. The bid is on the floor, and I sell at 270. At 270 bid again now. 270. 270. Have I 275? Have I 275? I'll take 3 if you like. Have I 273? Have I 273? Have I 273? I sell at 270. All done after 270. All finished after 270,000. At 270,000, the hammer is up, and I sell at 270,000 against you online and against you on the floor at 270,000. All done after 270. All finished after 273. 273 on the floor. At 273 on the floor. 275. 275 on the floor. 275. At 275, but again at 275. How about 280? How about 280? 280,000 now. At 280,000, but again at 285. 285. At 285, but again at 285,000. At 285,000 bid again now. 285. 285. At 285,000, any advance at 285. At 285,000, the bid is on the floor. It's against you online at 285,000. At 285 bid again now. 285. 285. At 285,000. How about 290? How about 290? You've been with me all the while. At 285,000, you're going to lose it. At 285, I sell at 285,000. All done after 285. All finished after 285,000 against you online and against you on the floor. I sell left-handed at 285,000, all done after 285, all finished after 285. Take 2 if you like. Have I 287? Have I 287? Have I 287,000? I sell. The hammer is up, and I sell at 285. At 285,000. Selling once at 285,000. Selling twice at 285,000. One bid might buy it. Third and last time, I sell. All done after 285,000. Sold. 285,000 buys. With ladies and gentlemen, for your attendance, and congratulations to the new purchaser. I think the customary Bula bus will be in order. Thank you. Safe home. God bless.